Hi everyone, it is Fitz with the Daily Delivery. Hope you're doing well. I hope you've had a great Memorial Day weekend. It didn't rain in Kansas for the first time in a long time, it seems like. And make sure at some point today, it is Memorial Day when I release this, that you take a moment to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice in service of their country. And if someone in your family fits that, bless you, bless your family. Thank you so much for the sacrifice. But today's Daily Delivery doesn't deal with the men who didn't come home from World War II. It deals with the men who did come home from World War II. It's a topic I have written about in the Wildcat Gridiron Guide, my history of Kansas State football through the beginning to 2000. Probably needs to be updated. But it's a very, very intriguing thing about college football. Most schools back in 1946 chose to continue to field athletic teams, most notably football, the same as they always had, basically like a high school. If you were on campus, you tried out for football. And maybe you were recruited, but usually from the region, and you were brought in to play, and that's how it happened. But a collection of schools decided they were going to bring on veterans. They were going to let those guys coming back from Europe and Asia, the South Pacific, to play football for their programs. And they got a huge advantage. Kansas State did it the old way, just a bunch of kids from campus playing football. Nebraska and Oklahoma, most notably in this area, but most of the blue bloods around the country, selected schools through the SEC, Texas, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State, USC, UCLA. Those are the easy ones to pick off. They brought in veterans. So for years, quite literally, these teams were playing men against boys because programs like Kansas State continued to field a bunch of young guys. And post-World War II, it was almost all young guys that were just beginning to start school. That set in stone most of the teams that we now know to be the Blue Bloods. It's the teams that I watched as a young boy on TV, the selected teams that got on, and still today we see most of them on TV and valued commodities. It's amazing that something so far in the past continues to ripple into our current feeling for college football. Now, some programs came along and joined the Blue Bloods. Most notably in my memory, it'd be Florida State and Miami. But for the most part, if you brought in the veterans, you were a great program then, and you still are remembered as one now. Meanwhile, Kansas State set in motion a bunch of despair because they refused to do it any other way than they always had. And they fell far behind in college football and didn't really start to catch up until Bill Snyder showed up in 1989.